Alright, so we're beginning with the construction of the spoiler now. So you're going to take your supplied bolts and or nuts hardware from my eBay spoiler here, and hopefully everything fits. So I'm lining up the secondary part of the spoiler and see if it all lines up. So as I'm trying to screw in the supplied screw, I'm already seeing that it's not actually going to fit into the primary part of the spoiler. So I do have to drill the holes out just a tad bit bigger, so that way the screws will actually go in. Now obviously I'm going to have to do this for all 4 holes for the secondary part of the spoiler. And now putting it back together, I'm going to go ahead and start threading them just to hold the secondary spoiler in place. So now it is still a bit of a snug fit and kind of tight area to be able to screw it in. So you're going to use a longer screwdriver so that way you can apply some more force and torque to get these guys nice and snug. So now snug down all 4 of the bolts for this guy, and that should hold that shit in. Okay, now for mounting the actual spoiler itself into the car, it comes with these studs that you're going to screw into the spoiler. Now there is a beveled part that I'm assuming is going to be on top, so that it is easier to go into the car itself. Alright, so now we can start with the deconstruction of the car. So open up the hatch. And inside we're going to want to remove this panel here that covers the 3rd brake light, as you see outlined. Now it just really pops right off. There's 4 tabs that hold it in place, like little pins of some sort. Now just being gentle and prying off should be able to take it right off. And as you can see, these are where the 4 pins are located at. Next, you're going to go ahead and unscrew the 3rd brake light itself. It's 2 10mm bolts. Now once those bolts are off, just kind of twist it counterclockwise and just gently pull out. Now you can disconnect the wiring for this, but it's really not in the way for me, so I just kind of leave it hanging here, as you'll see. Now underneath that 3rd brake light is 2 more bolts that you're going to want to remove for the OEM spoiler. Here on the edge, as well as on the other side, there's going to be some more bolts for you to remove, all 10mm size. So here, and as well as on the other side, there's 2 push tabs. You're going to grab something flat or just kind of wide and just apply pressure, and it should pop right out, and you should be able to remove the spoiler from there. Now I lined up the bolts for the new spoiler, or little studs I guess, and just push it right through, and it should kind of stay in place. Now we're taking the supplied hardware and matching it up with those. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and tighten up all the screws and bolts and nuts, anything that you might have, and just kind of snug it down. Now that that's all done, I'm going to reinstall this 3rd brake light and tighten up the 2 10mm bolts. Once that's all tightened up, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this plastic cover just by aligning the little clips and just pressing it in and making sure I hear each one firmly clip in. All done. Feels pretty sturdy. Overall line matches with the car. I like the way it looks. Good. Alright, well, since I'm out here, I also wanted to install the rear wiper blade, as this car was missing it, and the arm here is kind of messed up, so I'm just kind of filing it down to be able to put the nut on there. So I'm just checking the thread to make sure I can actually get my nut on there, and pull it right off and throw the arm on there and snug it right up, and it should be okay. Just need a wiper blade now. All good. And here's how it turned out. I think the spoiler adds a bit more shape, makes the car look a little better, especially considering that OEM one was pretty much horrible. So yeah, we'll see how good this one does. Thank you for watching.